just a second. Great. So hello everyone, जो हमारे साथ connected हैं यार. If my audio video is clear, it will be great if you could update me out. अगर audio video clear है तो please clear लिख दीजिए chat box में. If the audio video is clear, you can just write clear in the chat box. जो clear लिखेगा उसको मैं जॉब तो नहीं दे सकता, बट हाँ उसमें मैं स्पेशल अटेंशन जरूर दूंगा उसके डाउट्स पे. राइट. सो ग्रेट. फटाफट बता दीजिए. राइट. इज माय ऑडियो वीडियो क्लियर इन द चैट बॉक्स? VR4 यूट्यूब से कनेक्टेड हैं, हेलो बोल रहे हैं, हेलो. राइट. वेटिंग फॉर अदर्स टू गिव अ कंफर्मेशन. बाकी लोग जो जूम से कनेक्टेड है प्लीज बता दीजिए यार. जय कह रहे हैं सर ऑडियो वीडियो इज क्लियर, परफेक्टली फाइन, थैंक्स जय. बाकी लोग बता दीजिए इज ऑडियो वीडियो क्लियर और नॉट. रिद्धि कह रहे हैं सर ऑडियो वीडियो क्लियर. ओके, गॉट इट. So great guys, today we have gonna be having a company specific guidance session जहाँ पे one of our mentor has joined in, right? So before I start in, a small introduction about Ashi. So Ashi has been working or has worked with Macquarie for almost 2 years, right? And currently she is working with Bank of America as a finance analyst in a treasury controller role, right? So Ashi has spent her 2 years of journey with the Macquarie, right? The Macquarie group. So I think she is going to be a perfect mentor, a right mentor to guide you, right? So सबसे पहले सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है जो Zoom से कनेक्टेड है यार, एक बार अनम्यूट करके और वीडियोस ऑन करके, राइट, जोरदार तालियों के साथ मेंटर का स्वागत करेंगे. राइट, उनके घर तक आवाज पहुंच जानी चाहिए. अनम्यूट करके और वीडियोस ऑन करके गाइस, कम ऑन. कुछ लोग छुप के बैठे हैं.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Shivam, for this moment. And thank you, everybody.
So thanks Ashi for joining in for at very short notice, right? And so Ashi, I just want you to brief out your journey. That how did you started your journey with the Macquarie group? How was your journey about, and what role you were currently working into? What role you were working into with the group?
Working with Macquarie, right. So Shivam, I started my journey with Macquarie as a fresher. I cleared my CA finals in November 2019, and because COVID hit and every organization had a delay in hiring the freshers, so I got the opportunity to work with Macquarie from May 2020. So I was hired as a management trainee, and that was it was actually back then 2 years ago when they used to hire management trainee. Now the system has a little bit changed. They're hiring as senior associates. If anybody of you would have got a call, you'll realize that you are getting the description about senior associate. So I joined product control department. So product control is basically a middle office for any investment bank, be it JP Morgan, be it Barclays, be it any investment bank. A product controller is who acts as in a middle office. So that was my role. My role was basically to ensure that the daily P&L that we are getting for a particular, my area was commodities, so I used to handle agriculture. So that area P&L is finalized and sent to the back office for the investigation. So it was a control department. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Great. So Ashi, a lot of questions which are there, a lot of students, those who have joined in, right? So they are given the offer, or they are setting for interview, or they want some thought clarity about the same, right? So we'll go one by one. I would also like you to highlight on what exactly this group is doing, as a company as a whole, since a lot of them have a confusion कि यार ये banking है, ये IB firm है, right? Or what exactly this group is all about.
Okay, so Macquarie is basically an investment bank. It's a Sydney-based investment bank, typical investment bank. They have desks sitting in almost all the markets, be it Singapore, US, London Mercantile Exchange, every market. They do trading on daily basis. Obviously, they do client meetings. They have contracts with clients for executing, and they earn brokerage, they pay brokerage to the marketers. And yeah, so that's what the basic job is. It's an investment bank, Macquarie first. Second, they also have one department of asset management, which is there in Mumbai, asset management and valuations. So yeah, that is also a group, but that's completely if we have majorly from vacancies are majorly in Gurgaon, they will be for financial management group, which is a back office for IB.
Okay, got it, got it, got it. Now coming to the roles which are offered to the fresher chartered accountants, since you have spent this journey for almost 2 odd years now, right? So what are the major roles
Right.
offered by the Macquarie Group?
Sure. So as a fresher, you will get when you get the even job description, you'll realize the role is for financial management group only, and their major two roles are being offered: PC and FC. So finance control and product control. Okay. Product control is basically the profile where I was working, where I was in direct touch with desks. So I used to get in touch with them on daily basis and ensure that whatever profit or loss they are having from a particular business line is correct. So my job role was basically that. Other than that, my role was also to ensure that preparing reconciliation, the PLGs are in sync. There is no control. Basically, the first thing that comes to mind is control. So it's a control department that nobody could cheat Macquarie, and no trader is going and doing anything and having getting any contract done. Every contract is being hedged, or they have a particular reasoning for the contract. So that was my job role. I had to go through the contracts which are being entered, and then how the PNL is being justified or not. So as a product controller, you are basically concerned with that profit or loss. And in finance control is more about handling the accounts of IB and having the knowledge of Ind AS and applying them and preparing the accounts, balance sheet. It's majorly concerned with your IFRS knowledge and stuff. So PC is more about having product knowledge, and you should have the product knowledge, because when you're connecting with the desk, they are super busy people. They are people who are earning for Macquarie, so they want to connect with only smarter people. They're not going to sit and explain you what an options contract is or how options help them to make money. It's your responsibility to know that they have entered into an options contract and you have earned money, and it's your job to finally make the calculations. So that's what the PC does. FC, on the other hand, handles the accounts, the GL part of the organization, ensuring that it is maintained. It is on the basis of IFRS and US GAAP and everything. Yeah.
Got it, got it, got it. So, also, can you highlight some growth pathway on PC and FC side? So, say for example, if I join as a product controller, so where do I will see myself 5 years down the line?
Right. So, Shivam, although both the profiles have good growth opportunities, because if you join FC, you are in touch with IFRS, and you are in touch with all the updations in India and everything. So, you go to any company, they need the requirement of for financial reporting. They need a person who knows IFRS and US GAAP and everything. So, from FC, you have growth opportunities in that department. From PC, you can say it becomes a little restricted, because you are not really into IFRS, you're not really into audit, you're not into taxation. You're more about SFM products and foreign hedging and forex related things. So that could be said. You will be restricted to things which are related to SFM. But then again, the industry is so huge that you do get opportunities. Like, I shifted from PC role to treasury role. Treasury is a completely different role. So yeah, you do get opportunities, because PC makes you not only as a, I won't say not just work related, but it grows you as a person, because they have a lot of projects. Specifically in Macquarie, they have a lot of projects. They ensure that you are getting knowledge of automation. You are working on other projects. You are helping the team to reduce the monotonous work and get things done. So that will help you grow and make switches. But yeah, PC do have a little limited path compared to FC. With FC, you can go to any financial reporting department of any company.
Okay, got it, got it. And if I divide this PC into the front office, middle office, and back office, so can I also grow into this ladder?
Yeah,
Or
so PC is middle office, and yes, there are opportunities for a lot of, like, even Macquarie gives a lot of opportunities. Even people relocate from Gurugram to London to Sydney. They have relocated. They have shifted from middle office to front desk as well, because The only difference between you and the front desk is you are preparing the P&L, they're doing the trades. It's basically PC person know each and every trade. They do have knowledge of whatever is being earned, whatever is Macquarie is earning or losing. They do have knowledge of everything. So the only difference between desk and PC is reporting and desk is actually implementing those trades. So you do have scope for to improve go from middle office to front office.
Front
But yeah,
office.
the chances are slim. It's not easily said than done, I would say.
Got it. And इसका फिर back office, तो back office में also जब chartered accountants रहा है?
Yeah, back office में FC रहते हैं. FC is basically back office जिसमें reporting होती है.
Acha, got it. Acha. Now coming to the preparation side, since a lot of them, those who have joined this session out, are looking for the interview preparations and wanted to get into that role, right? So what guidance you will give them कि यार मेरे को अब बस सब मुझे जाना ही है, right? I just wanted to get into this company, right? So can you please let me know that how I should prepare for the FC role first, then we'll move to the PC role.
Sure. So also, Shivam, it's not like whenever you'll go for interview. I think like also I've seen some of the interviewers. I have got to know from the interviewers. It's not on the candidate to decide whether they are picking up PC role or FC role. They basically get a interview call for FMG group, and they have two panelists. One is from PC, one is from FC, and based on your interview, you are being directed to the role, and then the head is basically from the one which you are being selected. So specifically for Macquarie, right? So coming to the preparation in Macquarie, you have like three things to be prepared for. First is basically a psychometric test. They are hiring for senior associate role. That's one thing. Senior associates are basically at second level. Below that, it's just associates, which are graduates, and then senior associate. Then the hierarchy continues. It's an individual contributor role. There you'll be first a psychometric test, which is basic, like any other psychometric test. You'll be judged on the basis of logical reasoning, then verbal and phones. So that's a test that you have to go through. And then comes the interview process. So first level of interview is basically with the VPs, and second level of interview is with the director. Usually that's the pattern, but to be honest, later in the very latest interview, I realized it was VP and one director. Maybe Macquarie is hiring more CAs this time, so they have cut short the interview process. I'm not sure about it, but I've seen a few interviews like that. So yeah, so when it comes to Macquarie interview, you have to be technically very sound. Like there's no doubt about technical portion. They keep, if it's a 40 minutes interview, they keep approximately 25 minutes to 28 minutes for your interview, for your technical skills. And the technical skills that have to be taken up is first is India's 109, because that's the derivative accounting, and that's the bread and butter basic. For any banking, for any IB, when you're going, I think 109 is the basic AS that needs to be done. Right. Yeah. So that is one thing. Then apart from that, one should have a knowledge of rest of the accounting standards as well, if you're comfortable with intangibles and other things like plant, property, and equipment. Obviously, it will help. You can the question could be from anywhere, but majorly it is based on 109. Then you have to be well versed with derivatives. What are derivatives? What are options? What are forwards? Call option, put option. How are the two things different? How would accounting of call option, put option? If contract has been entered for forward, will there be any impact on the financial statements? How will it be recorded? When MTM is done, how would it impact the P&L, or will it go to the P&L, or will it form part of OCI? So those are a few parameters which are being judged. Then what is forward rate? What is basic questions, spot rate? So those things need to be done. Also, if I say when you go for Macquarie, I would really suggest you to be very well prepared with the latest news updates. With what's going on with crude oil, or what's going on in Russia, how Russia had in March the prices were skyrocketing, and it's back to normal. now. So do have the knowledge of those, recent changes and recent global updates.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Right. So majorly they need to prepare more or less 109 from the FR side, and
Yes.
the SFM knowledge should be good enough regarding derivative options and all this. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Meanwhile, others, those who have a doubts, right, definitely you can start posting over a chat box. We'll be happy to cover all the doubts which are there in the chat box. Right, जो भी doubts है आप chat box में डालते जाइए so that we can cover the same. Right. So Ashish, since you have spent the 2 years of journey with the Macquarie group, right? So can you just also give a hint, or can you just share your experience regarding the projects which you worked on, or some idea ki हाँ यार, supposedly if I join as a PC today, what exactly the work I'll be doing? Just a small example.
Correct. So, Shivam, when it comes to PC role, the basic thing that anybody would be doing is they'll be first, divided into bases of markets. If you are, if you're working in EMEA, or if you're working in Asia market or in America market, so that's first thing. Then you will be divided on the basis of products. So, like I said, I was working with commodity group. You could be working with FINC department, that is foreign exchange and currency rates. Then uh, derivative side or equities and currencies. So there are multiple departments. First, you will be divided on those parameters. That's actually random and on the basis of your interview, whatever your interviewer suggests. Obviously, there are shifts also. There is morning shift from 6 to 3. Then there is normal shift from 9 to 6, and then there's from 12 to 9. So there are 3 shifts which Macquarie works upon. And they'll obviously, in an interview also, usually the interviewer asks if you're comfortable with all the shifts, and based on that, you'll be taken forward. Right. So I'll explain about my experience. So when I joined Macquarie, the team was quite full, and I was deployed on a few, very, very basic PNLs, how PNL look, index PNLs, and I was motivated to talk to desk and figure out if the PNL goes wrong, because there were very minimal PNLs. The amount was also short. So it's not like not an everyday thing that something would go wrong and I'll have to communicate with desk, but once a while it did happen. So that was the first thing. Apart from that, the projects that I was working on was very basic project was VBA macros. So across Macquarie, I think it is all across departments. You need to have good Excel skills. And second is macros, which are built in Excel, is something, the area which you can, get to learn, because not everybody in your team will be knowing about it. It's more like 1 or 2% in a team who is handling those macros, and then you have that area where you could understand from, say, YouTube channels or however you find it comfortable. Maybe go to that person who is aware of macros and learn about VBA macros. So that was one growth opportunity that I found and I learned. Second was the project that I was working was the major project that I was working was shifting from one tool to another. So there were internal tools. We were basically on Excel sheet where everything was prepared on Excel, and PNLs were being done and sent through Excel only. And then we shifted to a very integrated program where the desk even could see our PNLs and help with them. So I was involved in testing and ensuring that my views are in such a way that it is of use to a desk also, and to me as a PC, and then to FC person as well. So all 3 platforms, be it reporting, be it control, or be it the actual trading, goes through that system, and they have the similar views, and they're aware what needs to be done. So that was one project that I handled. It was a very major project in Macquarie at the time. Project Kepler was the project that same project they like, I think another team had it for Sabre. They also had a similar project. Also an Oracle Fusion project was there, where a GL reporting system was shifted to Oracle Fusion. So you'll see a lot. We will get an opportunity to work on a lot of projects with Macquarie. They are in continuous development of their systems, and yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Great. A lot of questions which are coming from the student side. If someone wants to join the IB side, say I'm willing to go into IB or equity research, so should I think to join this company?
To be honest, Shivam, being a CA, I think I also had this very first rush to go to IB. So
Right.
when I cleared, and I think that was the thing I joined Macquarie in the first go. I was not aware what PC is, what FC is. I was just aware Macquarie is an IB and I should go for it. So, keeping this in mind that, it's not just PC experience or FC experience that is going to give you an entry to IB, I would say you can join and then focus on your maybe further studies, what may help or relevant studies, and then talking to maybe management and looking out for the opportunities very rigorously. I think that might help, but not just PC role or FC
Acha.
role. That would not.
Got it. Got
It
it. Got
can form the base because I have seen, like I told, I've seen people moving from PC to London and working on tests, but they had the experience for over 8 years, 9 years. They had additional qualifications. They worked on themselves. Like there was a person who got CFA degree and then moved to London. So maybe that could be done, but that's again a rare circumstances. Opportunity should come up, and the person should be ready.
Got it. Got it. And how is it in terms of internal growth, as in the promotions and growth?
Right. So Macquarie is really, really great with the promotions, really great with internal growth. It's like obviously like every organization, a bell curve is there, no doubt. But when it comes to Macquarie, if you are performing decent, if you're performing good, you'll get. They have a very, very long hierarchy. So it's like associate, which is not for us, then senior associate, then executive, then assistant manager, manager, then AVP, VP, and then director. So it's a very long hierarchy. And if you're performing well, if you're consistent with your performance, if you are meeting your deadlines, if you're good with, if you're good with the organization as a whole, if you're a leader, I would say, then you'll get the growth opportunities. It's not like somebody else has got it and you're not the one who is going to get it. It's not like that. Um, it's a great organization when it comes to growth opportunities.
Got it. Got it. Great. Uh, Saloni is asking, can you also some highlights on shifts? Like, is it a rotational shift or you allocated some shifts?
Right. So it's not a rotational shift first. It's more like they have fixed shift whenever you are being hired, you will be informed about your shift. You'll be informed earlier also that you may be asked to work in a shift. So they have three shifts: morning 6 to 3, then 9 to 6, and then 12 to 9. So these three shifts are the ones. And with Macquarie, if you're working in 6 to 3 or 12 to 9, you'll get cabs for Delhi NCR for the morning 6 and evening 9, because that's the odd timing that's there. For usual timing, there are no cabs, but otherwise, for those two extreme, you can opt for cab options. Obviously, internally, when you're being hired, you may, if you're not, if you are not settled with your um, shift timing. So, for example, you're into 12 to 9 and you are not comfortable with it, you can reach out to your managers, you can talk to them. And Macquarie has this culture that managers are really nice. They do listen to you. So maybe not in the very first month, but eventually 2, 3 months later, you will be shifted to some other shift timing. It's not rotational. It's basically your own shift and where you are working, depending upon your team. Like EDT team works in morning and EMEA team works in evening.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Few more questions which are there. A few of them are asking regarding a work-life balance. So, any highlight on the same? Yes. In
So
fact, I think
Shivam,
this is the wrong question, but okay, yes.
so to be honest, like Macquarie do have a good work culture. They'll never ask you to work on Saturdays and Sundays. First thing, which is we got the habit from our internships, I guess. But when it comes to work-life balance, because my role was PC role, and because it's an IB, it's a daily reporting job. I have to submit my P&L no matter what. So be it any holiday in India, be it anything, you'll have to be available. They do give good compensations. They do give good, if you're working on a national holiday, they compensate you for the same by giving you an extra comp off and an extra pay. So that way it is good. But of course, because the work is a little much and it's a daily reporting job, on working days, you won't find time to, go out or have.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so definitely our initial stage of career, I also feel like you should not think of all this. Can we take a internal switch in departments? Any idea on the same?
Yes, it's very easy to take internal switch in departments. Specifically, if you want to switch from PC to FC or PC from, within teams, you have seen one market and now you want to see different market. Now you want to go to reg side, you have seen the PNL side and you want to prepare the reg side. So these things can be done. It's very easy to switch. You can easily reach out to, again, managers are way, way, way good in Macquarie. So you can reach out to them very easily and ask them for switches. You'll get them.
Got it.
It's,
Got it.
it's a bit difficult when it comes across group wide. If you want to switch from FMG to say asset management, again, you'll have to appear for the interview. But within group, it's possible.
Got it. And any idea on which all locations it hires mostly?
I think Shivam, as far as I am aware, they hire for Gurgaon maximum. Again, FMG role that is their financial management group. For Mumbai also there are vacancies for MAM group, Macquarie Asset Management, but very slim, very less.
Okay. Okay. So mainly Gurgaon and Mumbai side is the hiring.
Yes.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Most of them are hiring कि कैसे apply करें, how to apply if I want to try off campus.
Right. So in Macquarie to apply, to be honest, Macquarie gives call, like Macquarie has, HR company outside HR companies and they pick up your resumes from Naukri.com. So that is the basic thing that has to be done. And I think majority of the people are getting calls from Macquarie Group because they have a lot of hiring right now. They need a lot of chartered accountants. And Naukri.com people are really active at the moment. I also got the same way. It was an off-campus drive. I got a call from an HR team, and they forwarded my resume to Macquarie later on. So I think that is the best way. Keep yourself updated on Naukri.com. Keep your profile updated. Do mention some keywords like, if you have keen interest in capital markets, do mention about capital markets. If you have taken FSCM in your CA final exam, so you can mention that. Risk management also helps when it comes to IB. So do mention either risk management or FSCM, or if you have exemption in SFM or FR. These are some keywords that they might pick. So use them in your Naukri profile and you'll get the chances.
Got it. Got it. And the people, those who are working there, you can also ask them to refer the same. Because I think I was talking to one of the colleagues, they said that vacancy hai, I can refer the candidates out. So
right.
That will also work out for the people those who are trying for the same. Right. Doubts in the chat box कि पैसा कितना मिलेगा वो तो हम discuss नहीं कर सकते public forum पे. Right. But yes, definitely you'll get a decent pay. Yes, जो भी doubts है, you can put it over a chat box. We'll be happy to cover the same. Sposh is saying, could you elaborate on what all things I need to prepare apart from Indes 109 for FR?
Okay, so FR, like I'll just give you a very short example. So I was asked question on impairment. So like any other, because it was very new for me, like any other person, I said that impairment, we basically check on, goodwill and those assets on daily basis. And then for whichever assets we do have doubt, we check for impairment. But then because it was an IB, so he specifically asked, is there any, any contract which needs to be checked, anything apart from goodwill. So I said maybe equities. That's when he said, asked and pressurized me to come out more on how equities and why equities. So if you think about it, equities which are listed does not need to be tested for impairment because their value is on the market. But equities which are unlisted needs to be checked for impairment if the value of the company has gone down. So that is one example. You can be asked on the basis how, anything related to equity or derivative or any product is related to company, you can get a question from FR on that basis. So this was just an example from impairment. Maybe they could ask something from plant, property, equipment, government subsidies, or like who knows. Even I'm not very good with the FR portion. So
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. I think Big Four required or no, I don't think so. Big Four parameters there.
no.
Yeah.
No, they don't need Big Four. Even like a good thing about Macquarie is they don't, even for attempts, they are not very fuzzy. They do take up to a good level of attempts. Multiple attempt people are also applying. People with 1 year of experience are also being hired at senior associate. So
Great, great. So I think nothing to worry about it, about attendance and all this. Focus on your interview preparation. That is what I'll say. Okay, I think we have tried to cover everything out regarding the process. I have my interview on 29th for this. Which is going to be taken by? Acha, assistant director. All the best. Okay, I've done financial modeling online. Will there be some questions on valuation models? They can ask you again depending on the CV and stuff. But yes, Ashish.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, again, yes. They obviously, like any other interview, Macquarie will ask you questions based on your resume. So if you have mentioned financial modeling, they can ask how financial modeling has helped you over and above seeing why is it different, and or does it give you an edge over other fellow mates. So yeah, you can be prepared for those questions.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So, just to again summarize regarding the interview process, first you mentioned that there'll be a test, right? Second will be the VP round, and third will be the director round, right? If I'm not wrong.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
so there'll be 3 rounds which are there, and the both the rounds for VP and director will be a technical part.
Technical plus personal, obviously, like any other interview. So it's not just technical. They focus majorly on technical portion. It's like it's like 60% of the portion is going to be technical. Rest would be more about your personality and personal questions.
Got it. Got it. And the technical one which you mentioned, usme se hi more or less they'll focus on.
More or less, yes.
Got it.
They have like a very basic question is call option, put option. If you know the difference between call and put, I think आधे interviews वहीं पे impress हो जाते हैं because I've heard कि काफी लोगों को नहीं आता.
Okay, okay, got it. अगर चाहिए तो हम डेमो कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे. We can ask someone to unmute and ask the same. Okay, not a problem. Last 2-3 questions. Will they provide training if once we join in? Nivya is asking the same.
Of course. So, like any other company, you will be provided training. You will be, you'll be appointed a buddy, and they'll guide you how to work through, how to get your work through the organization, what accesses you need. Then your managers will have connect with you. You'll be given a little bit of tasks and then provided training on the same. So training and stuff is sufficient. Macquarie is really good when it comes to training and keeping their employees happy. So they give you, extra leaves also, sometimes wellness leave and wellness month, and they really have a good culture when it comes to that.
Right. Okay, got it. Yes, I think someone wants to ask a question from the Zoom. You can raise your hand. We'll be happy to help you out with the question out. You can raise your hand. We'll ask you to unmute if you have a question. Yes, you can also turn on your video so that we can see you. Ashi, yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, actually, I have an interview on 29th, and they are saying that it would gonna be only one round for both the personal and technical. So, is this also gonna include HR, or would there be a different round for HR?
No.
And
So if they are,
it is
right,
gonna
so
be
if they're
taken
saying,
by both director and vice president.
right. So like I told you that, cut shorting the interview process. So there would not be any separate HR round. There's no HR involvement when it comes to Macquarie's hiring. They just, there will be questions, HR based questions, strengths, weaknesses, and where do you see yourself, and etc. Obviously, you know the rest of the drill. So there will be personal questions and personality trait questions, but no separate round. If they have said that it's one round, then it's just that one round.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. All the best. Ashi has asked the question to Ashi. Yes.
And spelling is also same, surprisingly.
Yeah, name is same. So when Ashi joined in, Ashi Jain joined in, I was like, okay, Ashi aa gayi hai. Then I said, no, nahi, ye to Ashi Jain hai. Okay, yes, Priyanka.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am,
Yes.
actually, I have a doubt. I was being referred to Macquarie for internal audit profile. They called me once, but after that, the Ritu Goswami is the person recruiting over there. She didn't responded over the calls, or even no mails have been received. I mailed her back, but haven't received any response yet. So what's your opinion about that? Like it was an internal audit profile and they were seeing for someone who has a post-qualification experience in internal audit. I mentioned over there at the interview call only that I have recently qualified and I was working as a semi-qualified since past 18 months. So how can it be a post-qualification experience? And how would it matter if I'm working over there as a semi-qualified in internal audit only?
she's
So
like,
she
मुझे
was
क्यों
all
पूछ रहे
right.
अच्छा, अरे रितु, I would say you can take this question up with the HR. I think she is not a right person to answer on this because उनको भी नहीं पता ना कि किस कंडीशन में आपको हायर किया है, किस कंडीशन में they have taken the
फिर
interviews out.
दोबारा जैसे कॉल नहीं आया तो आएगा या नहीं आएगा बस.
वो हमको भी नहीं पता. You just need to connect with HR only. That is only the way. राइट, बिकॉज देखो ना मैं उनका रिश्तेदार हूँ ना वो मेरे रिश्तेदार है, राइट. नाइदर आई नो देम नाइदर दे डोंट नो मी, है ना. तो पता, दे कैन नो मी, बट अगेन प्लीज टू अंडरस्टैंड इट्स वेरी वेरी पर्सनल स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन आउट, राइट. तो यू ओनली नीड टू फॉलो अप विद द एचआर. दैट इज व्हाट आई कैन से, राइट. आई थिंक आशी विल आल्सो एग्री ऑन द सेम व्यू कि आपको एचआर से फॉलो अप करना पड़ेगा बिकॉज दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज देयर, राइट. तो प्रियंका, डोंट वरी, जस्ट टेक अ फॉलो अप विद एचआर. दैट इज द ओनली सॉल्यूशन व्हिच यू हैव नाउ. मतलब ओके, yes, I think. Okay, Ankit, you want to ask something? Looks like you can turn on your video if you want to ask something.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, I'm not able to.
Not a problem.
open
Please,
my
please
video,
ask.
so, okay. Sir, is there any experience required in articleship for IB side specifically, which interview?
Yeah, Ankit. So no, there's no experience required related to finance or related to IB industry when it comes to hiring of freshers. Macquarie is very well aware that you have audit experience or taxation experience. They may ask you about some of your assignments,
Yes.
how you led them, or what were your experiences, or mention anything, any great achievement that you had in one of your projects. But no experience required as such.
Okay. Thank you. Is CFA preferred if I
एक है ना? Yes, Devashish.
Yes, sir. So actually, I have applied in Macquarie, and my interview is scheduled for 29th, and
Okay.
it is for financial management group. So, ma'am, I have a question with ma'am that can she throw some light? What is this role about, and what should I focus more in for this interview?
देवाशीष भाई तो बता रही थी इतनी देर से. I'll just tell you, so financial management group में ही vacancies होती हैं Macquarie के पास. It's either PC role or FC role depending upon your interview. आपको दोनों departments में से एक department allocate होगा जो आपको बाद में communicate किया जाएगा. Questions would be basically from 109 or from derivative products, equities, derivatives, call options, etc.
राइट. तो जो अभी पूरा सेशन हुआ वही तुमको फिर से देखना है और कुछ नहीं है. ठीक है, चलो, ग्रेट. Okay, great. I think we have covered almost everything out. Ashi, before we conclude, यार कुछ pro tip बता दो. Any pro tip for our students, right? कि कुछ ऐसा बता दो कि यार इंटरव्यू क्रैक हो जाए और हम दोनों को फटाफट पार्टी मिल जाए.
हाँ, तो मतलब पार्टी जो प्रॉमिस करेगा उसे बताते हैं शिवम. मैं ऐसे सबको बता देंगे.
कौन पार्टी देगा, जरा यस लिखिए चैट बॉक्स में. Who all will give a party? Just write yes in the chat box. अच्छा, उसी को ही हम pro tip देंगे. उसका ना हम लोग ऐसे प्राइवेटली डीएम करके भेजेंगे.
No, so actually I'll just tell you. So Macquarie में बहुत ज्यादा focus होता है कि personal, it's not just obviously technical questions होंगे, but it's not just technical questions. Your personality, आपके अंदर वो attitude reflect करना चाहिए कि हाँ ठीक है, नहीं किया पहले हमने finance में काम नहीं किया, पहले हमने Indians में काम नहीं किया, but कर सकते हैं. It's not something that is new to me. I can learn it. I can do this. I can do that. Sparsh is actually saying party in Macquarie cafeteria. मैं छोड़ा ही हो गलियां.
Right.
But yeah, so it's basically when you go in, it's a communication, मतलब two-way communication. वो आपसे बहुत friendly होके बात करेंगे. अगर आप वो एक अपने साथ एक attitude carry करके चलोगे, that you have that grudge to participate and do and excel in your career. You have that thing to stand apart from the group. You'll get hired. So Macquarie just need the confidence and वो एक ट्रस्ट उन्हें आपके ऊपर नहीं करना होता है कि एक नया काम जब आपको दिया जाएगा आप उसे टेक कर सकते हो. Because everybody knows the job is not related to whatever we have done in past. So
Got it. ठीक है. I think great. Ashi have tried to cover almost everything out, right? So great. If you have still any queries, जिनका कोई query रह गया होगा, or if you still feel like कि sir थोड़ा सा और बता दीजिए, right? तो request you to put the doubts over the YouTube comment section. We'll be happy to cover the same. I'll collate all the doubts and give it to Ashi, and we'll ask her to please answer the same, right? And meanwhile, if I am able to answer the same, I'll try to answer the same. राइट. सो जिन सभी का भी इंटरव्यूज है गाइस, ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट फॉर द इंटरव्यूज. बढ़िया से इंटरव्यूज दीजिए और फटाफट आप सिलेक्ट हो जाइए, राइट? और फटाफट हमको पार्टी भी दे दीजिए.
जस्ट शिवम, आई थिंक एक अरुण ने मेंशन किया हुआ है, आई एम इन अमेरिकन एक्सप्रेस, राइट? अरुण,
या. So Ashi is working with American Express and Treasury role, which is there, right?
Correct.
We'll have a separate session for American Express soon with Ashi again.
Completely separate session.
Yes.
Different role, different company.
Yes, and different exposure also. So that is definitely going to be there. So great. I think thanks really thanks Ashi for joining in for this session and giving a insightful insights to all our students, right? फटाफट एक बार सब फिर से वीडियोस ऑन करके एक बार तालियां बनती है यार, ऐसा ना करिए. Please ask everyone to please unmute and give a round of applause to the mentors out. एक बार जोरदार तालियां.
Thank you so much.
Thanks Ashi for joining in, and I think it would have been a really great session. You can share the feedback or the chat box. We'll be happy to read the same. Thanks Ashi once again for joining in.
Thank you, Shivam. Thank you, and all the best, guys. All the best for whoever has got their opportunity, who have got the interview scheduled, and not just Macquarie, wherever. So I hope you bag good offers and good companies. Okay.
Yes.
Bye. Take care.
Goodbye. Thank you.